Right, as we progress through this series of building back the front end of this, you can see I got the front grille strung up here, and I'm in the process of painting it. I've already cleaned it and sanded it and then cleaned it again. You know, you can tell it's the one that come off of this, so it was real bad. It had like a bed liner or something sprayed all over it. It looked like absolute crap. So it already looks a million times better, but we're not done yet. And so I'm going to get this completely painted. I'm going to get the bottom part of the bumper here completely painted, and then we'll get that put on here and see what that looks like. Just a quick look at what we're doing here. You can see all this bed liner or plasti dip, whatever this is, sprayed all over this side. And what I've done is I've started sanding from that side this way, so you can see how crappy it looked before. This is before. This is how I got it off the other Xterra. And this right here is what it's going to look like once I'm done sanding it, and then I'll paint it. And you can see how this stuff is just like rubber. So I'm pretty sure it's plasti dip, because it's not real rough like underliner would be, bed lining. But that's just a quick look at what we're doing right now. All right, here we are with the bumper on. I had to go get some help to get this bumper put on, because these rubber brackets right here that the bumper holds on to, the way you've got to put it on is you got to hold one end up and out, slide the other end in, and then, you know, come over here and get this end on. So it's definitely a two-person operation to get the bumper on. As you can tell, I was just messing with the metal piece. All this bumper cover is just slid on top of it. I don't have any of the bolts that hold it on yet. There, see, it's just slid in the clip. It bolts across the front here, and then it also bolts down the fender here. You can see I don't even have it lined up all the way. So I did go ahead and put the markers, the side markers, back on before I put the bumper on. But so all I got to do now is put the bolts in the bumper and tighten it down, and then we can proceed with the grille, the headlights, and this bottom piece of the bumper down here. Just kind of like a faux shield, really, because the actual skid plate is up underneath there. It's got a nice, you know, solid metal skid plate underneath it. The one that you can see from the front is just plastic, and it's you know, just a faux skid plate. All right, this video is going to be how to revive them old crappy looking Xterra headlights. So on here you have one screw on the bottom, I'm sorry, on the top, right here. Follow it around. You see also you got a pin there, so after you take this screw out, you got to pull up on top of this to get it out. This right here, you can see, is supposed to be sitting on top of that pin, but it's not. There's nothing around this side here. You go down to the bottom, and you've got multiple clips on the bottom. Got one there. You've got a screw that's supposed to be in there that goes through these two. Nothing there. And then you've got a clip right here that you push down on this part and then pull out. So this one, I've already took the screws out. I've already popped the pins off. So I just want to show you, as you go around, I start on this side over here, you know, pop the pins up, pop the tabs out, and then you just, you know, start pulling it off like that. And then that's when you'll want to push down on this one and pull it forward. And then out will pop this beauty. And what you'll want to do is you see how clear, nice and clear this is around what's been covered up. We're gonna clean these up so that, you know, we got some nice clear headlights to put back in. And we're gonna take these, we're gonna paint them to match the bumper and the grill that we painted. All right, so you can see I've started here. What you want to do is take you some 220 grit sandpaper and just start sanding until you got everything flush. See how those marks are going away, so everything will look, you know, if there's anything sticking up like paint runs or anything, you want to make sure that's all flush. And you want to make sure that the entire surface has these micro scratches in it, because I know it feels real nice and fine, but those little bitty micro scratches are grooves that paint will get in and hold on to. Now, another thing is the paint that I'm using is a bumper paint made by SEM, and it has an adhesion promoter in it. So there's no adhesion promoter required. Anytime you're painting on plastic, if you actually really want it to stay there, you're going to have to use an adhesion promoter or a paint that has it in there. So I'll leave a link in the description below of the color and the type of paint that I used on these. It actually matches this Xterra very well. Okay, here they are after being sanded down. And I just want to point out, you really want to make sure that you get your corners and your cracks and crevices real good. Any kind of edges, that's the edges, the cracks, the crevices, like up in here, those are all the places that your paint will fail, start cracking, peeling, or chipping from. So you want to make sure you get all those real good, and when you paint it, you want to make sure you get those areas real good. So we're going to move on to paint. All right, here's a before and after on the headlights. Obviously this is the before, this is the after. I didn't spend a whole heck of a lot of time on it because I knew I wasn't going to get it perfect, and I wasn't trying to get it perfect. I just wanted to shine it up. See that right there? You ain't going to get much headlight through. That right there, you're going to get a whole lot more light shining out instead of just lighting up the lens itself. Okay, I started by just taking some glass cleaner and just wiping it down. And what I'm going to do is I've got this Mother's Powerball plastic polish for lights. It was a headlight kit. It come with 800 grit sandpaper, 1500 grit sandpaper, and a 3000 grit sandpaper. I am not, and I probably should, and I need to, but I'm not going to spend the time. I'm not going to do it, even though it would just take a couple more minutes. I'm not going to start off with 800 because these aren't all that bad. So I'm going to start off with 1500, then I'm going to go to the 3000, which is this, and you dry sand with that. And then after that, you polish it with the Mother's polishing Powerball and the Power Plastic. So 1500 grit, 3000 grit, and then polish. All right, this is after just one round of sanding it with the 1500 grit. Remember, if you do, whether it's 800 or 1500, both of those are wet sanding. So I'm about to do one more pass with the 1500, and then I'm going to dry it off and move on to the 3000. Yeah, 3000. All right, so here I've put the headlights in. And you only have a bolt here, and an alignment pin on the bottom corner over here. Same thing here, bolt there, bolt here, alignment pin just down here. So got those in. Headlights are looking way better than they were. Now it's time to put the grill in. Now the grill has got clips that slide into these holes here, and those clips, they don't hold very well on some Xterras. We're about to see how mine do. All right, there you have it, guys, with the grill back in. I did have to end up swapping out about half of these clips that go in here. Just they go bad over time, and they just won't hold any pressure anymore. So I had to replace about half of them. So just keep that in mind if y'all have to do this. But there it is with the front end back together. That's what she looks like after all the work that we put into it. You know, man, it it looked pretty bad before, but now she looks pretty good. This is the product I use, SEM bumper coater, 39173 dark smoke, and as you can tell, it's got a Nissan Xterra right on the can. Newer model, but still. Now this is not a perfect match to the trim, but if that trim looked like it did when it was brand new, I believe it would be. All right, guys, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and leave us a comment down below.